Get on board now. We are going for a ride, and it's going to be a bumpy one. Hey everybody, welcome to the Brood Awakening. Today's rant is about getting on board. Literally, not in a car. Onboarding in a company. You see, I have a client who just started a new position in a new industry. And part of the reason he hired me was to create a 90-day plan. Literally the first quarter of his first year with the company. And how he was going to, basically I call it an entry plan, he called it a 90-day plan. How he's going to enter that new work environment as a leader. He's going in a management position for the first time, and it's in a completely different industry than he's been working in. Problematic? No, because your best ideas come from outside your industry. He got hired because he's bringing outside ideas to a company that wants to think differently, wants to change, wants to differentiate itself from the competition. So that's great. However, when he explained that he was working with me on a 90-day entry plan, his boss, brand new boss, said, that won't be necessary. Your 90-day plan that I have for you, basically we're going to cram 89 days into one day. We're going to throw you right into the mix. And while his intentions might have been good, meaning, we're just going to have you experience everything, there's no plan to the plan. And I'm sure you've heard the quote, failing to prepare is preparing to fail. I had to struggle to pull that one out of my brain today. It's Friday at 5, by the way, so that's excusable, I hope. Anyway, failing to prepare is preparing to fail. If you don't have a plan, or if you think you can cram 89 days into 24 hours, you are setting your new leader up for failure. And I explained that to him. The words I used to start this video are exactly what I told him. Buckle up, you're going for a ride, and it's going to be a bumpy one. Get on board, you're going for a ride, it's going to be bumpy. And part of that is, you think about the learning curve that takes place in a new job. Learning curve that takes place in a new job in the same industry you've always been in. It's steep. Typically, you got to, I think, one of my former bosses said it really well. He's like, listen, man, if I were you, I would spend the whole first year, your whole first year, feeling your way around this place. Because it's complicated. Spend your time listening, not talking. Watching people's actions or lack thereof. And just feeling your way around. Learn who the players are. Learn the dynamics. The politics. And I assure you there are a lot of them. And I was a young Coach Brew, version 1.0 at that point in time. This is during my coaching career. And there were a lot of politics. There are a lot of hidden dynamics, hidden agendas. It was ugly. And I wish I would have taken his advice and just chalked that whole first year up to, it's going to be a learning experience. I'm going to get acclimated. I'm just going to feel my way around, listen, not talk, watch people's actions or lack thereof. I didn't. And I didn't last there very long. To say it was a hostile environment would be an insult to hostile environments everywhere. To say it was an ugly workplace and dysfunctional would be an insult to ugly and dysfunctional workplaces everywhere. I had no plan going into the job. I wish I would have followed his advice. I also wish he would have given me more specifics. Helped me out with an entry plan, so to speak. So, my question for you is, do you have an entry plan for your new position? And if you're saying, Brew, I'm not in a new position, here's the Brewed Awakening. What if you treated your current role like you're brand new, like you saw it through a completely new and fresh set of eyes? And you literally spent time, maybe not a year, but you literally spent time, quote, feeling your way around the place, listening, not talking as much, and watching people's actions or lack thereof. That's one of the things I recommend to everyone that they do, is go on a listening tour. I talk about it. I devote an entire chapter to it in my book, Stadium Status. You can go to stadiumstatusbook.com and check that out. Don't buy it on Amazon or anywhere else because I don't get a royalty. I only buy it through my website. Anyway, as I digest or digress. See what I just did there? A listening tour is super important. Listen to what your people have to say, especially if you're new. There's institutional knowledge. There's probably 100 years experience in your department alone. How are you tapping into that? Have you been? Or are you someone who thinks he's got all the answers or she's got all the answers already? So I would encourage you to create a re-entry plan at your current workplace. If you're a CEO or you're a business owner, same thing. Doesn't matter. If you don't report to anyone, doesn't matter. Re-enter with a new, fresh set of eyes. View your people, your team, how the product is delivered, how the experience takes place for the customer through a new, fresh new lens. Through a fresh new lens. Try and see it differently by feeling your way around, listening, not talking so much, and watching what your people do, their actions or lack thereof. You're going to learn so much just from doing that. But you need to have a plan. What are you doing day one, the morning of day one, the afternoon of day one, day two, and so on and so forth, all the way through 0 to 90 days. Entry plan. What departments are you going to visit first? Who are the key people you need to connect with individually and in small groups? You're going to learn who's for you, who's against you, where's the resistance, where's the support. You are going to learn who's open to change and who's resistant to it. Who's flexible, who's rigid. Through that new lens that you get to view your team and your organization. Highly recommend it. You create your re-entry or entry plan depending on which situation you're in. It's really that simple. Failing to plan is planning to fail. I got it right that time. Do I get bonus points for that? Anyway, that's the message. Entry plan, re-entry plan. You cannot rush leadership. You cannot throw someone into the fire, throw them to the wolves in a brand new industry, and expect positive results. They're going to be like a deer in the headlights. Yeah, I know, it's deer in the headlights. I was seeing if you're paying attention. They're going to be like a deer in the headlights. They're going to have that deer in the headlights look. Paralysis by overanalysis. Stimulus overload. It's too much. chunk it down. Bite-sized, digestible, daily pieces. Entry plan. So I got for you. Subscribe below. Click the bell after you subscribe to get notifications every time a new video drops. If you are watching the Brewed Awakening on BrewTube, if you're consuming it elsewhere, go ahead and share it up and comment. Give me your thoughts, feedback, and opinion. In my humble but highly accurate opinion, I believe everyone needs an entry plan in the new role, and everyone needs a re-entry plan in their existing role, and revisit that with some regularity. That's what I got for you. If you want more content just like this, head on over to CoachBrew.com. That's CoachBRU.com, and sign up for my electronic newsletter. When you do that, you'll get a special report called 12 Ways to Double Your Sales, Double Your Results, and that is available exclusively at CoachBrew.com. Catch you next time. This has been the Brewed Awakening.